As far as why Erika is lying and covering for Dan Flood, we're gonna need to get to the bottom of that. These are not little lies, these are huge lies. These are big lies. She's covering up for bad people, and it doesn't make any sense. She's welcoming bad people into the foray of Turning Point USA for money. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
The Erika Kirk story just took a drastic turn. What was supposed to be a house filled with mourning quietly turned into a fundraiser event just 48 hours after Charlie Kirk was hit. Leaked video from a private praise and worship gathering in their condo building showed dozens of guests arriving to pray, only to be expected to open their wallets before leaving, even as millions were already pouring in. While his parents grieved quietly, his sister Mary Kirk grew furious at the speed of it all. The moment that footage spread, what should have been sacred time for a grieving widow suddenly felt calculated, and people started asking why the money machine kicked in before the tears had even dried. It began in the condo building where the Kirks live. According to multiple accounts that have since spread widely, roughly 48 hours after Charlie's death, a private praise and worship gathering took place in the community room. Dozens of people showed up, somewhere between 50 and 70. The event was hosted by a local pastor, but the real focus quickly shifted once guests realized they were expected to open their wallets before leaving. News reported over $6 million that has been raised.
Since his assassination, it's also awakened a sleeping giant. Charlie Kirk's mission and his Turning Point movement have seen tremendous support. Newsweek reports more than $6 million have poured in so far to honor Kirk and his family across various fundraising platforms. Plus, 4 of Charlie Kirk's books have rocketed up the bestseller list on Amazon. One of them, Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life, won't be released until December, but is already number 2 on the list. Also, the producer for the Charlie Kirk Show announced Turning Point has received over 32,000 inquiries to start new campus chapters. Turning Point currently has 900 official college chapters and around 1,200 high school chapters, with a presence on 3,500 total. Charlie's vision to have a Club America chapter in every high school in America, which is around 23,000, will come true much faster than he could have ever possibly imagined.
At that point, significant donations had already been pouring into TPUSA and related causes in Charlie's name. Yet, the pressure to give more continued without pause. Erika reportedly arrived over an hour late. She had been doing an interview with a news outlet. When she finally addressed the room, one story stood out. She described how Charlie never felt comfortable in the $5.25 million Scottsdale mansion they had purchased. The very first night there, he tossed and turned, unable to sleep. The next morning, he told her he wanted to move back to the condo. He felt safer, surrounded by neighbors who could look out for her and the children if anything ever happened. Viewers believe she said this to make people donate more in order to make her feel safe in his absence.
Everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me? So, for example, a journalist from the Daily Mail came up to me. She introduced herself, and she was very gracious. She was saying, "You look so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss."
That gathering was only the beginning. Leaked audio from a staff meeting just weeks later captured Erika speaking with unmistakable energy about merchandise sales tied to Charlie's memorial. She described it as the event of the century, noting how numbers kept climbing past $200,000 and showed no signs of slowing. Later, she even mentioned that she's honoring her husband.
There you go. Oh, look at all the thumbs up. Look how cute that is. Sorry, this is a little bit more informal than probably Charlie would be reacting. How sweet. I didn't know they could do that. I hate Zoom. I never like Zoom. Sorry, you guys. I just wanted to say first and foremost, my heart obviously is broken for you guys as much as it is for our family. You guys lost not only a boss, but someone that you looked up to, someone that you believed in his mission, that you also that you loved. You loved listening to his show. You loved hearing his wisdom on things. I'm sure some of you have also had very personal moments of where you sat down.
I never went on shows to talk about myself. at all, actually. And that's why really everyone wrote my story before I could even tell the correct version. But I went and honored my husband with all of his obligations that he had set. And I wanted to honor him in that way. And, you know, everyone will scrutinize and analyze and they'll do all of that stuff until they're actually in the position of that person. And it's so easy to analyze someone when you really don't even know them or understand them. I don't have to explain myself. I mean, all that matters is when I come home, my baby's running into my arms.
The tone was not somber reflection. It was celebratory, focused on the financial success of turning loss into continued momentum. Candace Owens has been relentless in highlighting these moments. She has pointed out that the total raised in Charlie's name across donations, events, and merchandise has reportedly climbed toward enormous figures, with some estimates reaching well over $140 million in a short period, separate from additional large hauls like the Mar-a-Lago fundraiser. The question Candace keeps returning to is simple. Where has all of it gone? Because while the money flowed in rapidly, transparency about its use has not kept pace. Charlie's parents reportedly handled the loss with quiet, sober mourning.
Picture Gates. Who put that picture away? That's what they want to know. So Charlie's last live appearance before he was assassinated was, from his home studio at least, was on September 8th. Here is that wedding photo behind him, which you can see. Then fast forward to December 12th, and as a part of her Shabbat Shalom PR Blitz, she conducted her very first interview from Charlie's home office. She was playing the part, as you are about to see, of this is my first time back in his office. And yet, curiously, that wedding photo is missing.
I have not been in here for a very long time, and I've just been, that's part of the reason why I keep looking down. It's not because I'm not wanting to look at you, it's because like there are so many treasures in here.
If this really is your first time in his office, the first time looking down at his desk,
They stayed in the background, processing privately. His sister, Erika Kirk, took a much more direct approach. She has grown increasingly furious with the direction things have taken, pushing back against the rapid shift from grief to empire management. The contrast between the family's visible pain and Erika's forward momentum has only deepened the unease. Photos online shows a grieving mom by her son's casket. Then, some persons also refer to old photos of Charlie's happy family. Critics argue that Charlie's family is hurting unlike Erika. That momentum showed up again in the courtroom as the case against Tyler Robinson, the man charged in Charlie's death, moved forward. Erika's side pushed hard for a speedy probable cause hearing. She even speedily forgave Tyler.
I forgive him. On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
The defense, however, raised serious concerns. They claimed they had not received full raw files from the FBI or ATF, only summaries. Requests to examine fingerprint analysis, chain of custody, and exact timelines were met with resistance. Critics watching the proceedings saw it as more than procedural friction. It looked like pressure to lock in a public narrative before every detail could be challenged. A televised hearing under those conditions raised the stakes even higher.
To hop up on here to make sure everybody is aware of what is going on right now. I am seized, obviously, by the Charlie Kirk assassination trial, and I want to make sure I'm breaking down to the public what is happening because there is a hearing live right now. The defense versus the prosecution. Prosecution is representing Erika Kirk because she is the victim on this case, and you might recall that Erika did this news hit a while ago. It was kind of weird where she just asserted, and then they passed around, that she really wanted to make sure that her right to a speedy trial was observed, okay? And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, why? Well, it turns out that now we are understanding that this is going to be the prosecution's strategy. And I will be very clear here. I do not believe Tyler Robinson assassinated Charlie Kirk. And I believe that Turning Point USA is implicated in this moment in a cover-up of sorts, okay? What various roles were played. But to me, looking at the evidence, which I have done more than anybody else, there is a cover-up taking place. And this hearing proves it, okay? So they were supposed to have a probable cause hearing in May. It is slated on the calendar. When they agreed to do this in May, the defense, Tyler Roberts' defense, was like, well, we shouldn't set a date until we all get our discovery requests. And they were like, we're just going to put it on the calendar. Don't worry. We're just going to throw it on the calendar. And then, of course, if you guys don't have what you need, the case will not go forward. Lo and behold, Erika goes on Fox News and says, I want to make sure to speedy trial on the victim, whatever. And so now we're hearing that directly from the defense, and the prosecution is not disputing this, they both agree that the ATF and the FBI will not hand over their data files.
The urgency in court felt connected to everything else. The same pattern of control appeared in how Erika stepped into leadership at Turning Point USA almost immediately. Internal shakeups followed, with reports of staff dismissals and a clear effort to shape the organization's direction.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
No, and I know you're going to keep saying I understand. Yeah. Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer. But yeah. I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like, I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for AmFest.
Yeah, I think
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but the backwards for this organization, to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
It's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
no, I understand. It's time to.
So do I get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody? Or
nope.
No, and there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go.
Right now, we'll leave it all.
You know, and you're gonna keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
Well, we're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave property?
Yes.
Due to what, Frank?
Because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no explanation or documentation for this. I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the company. I've never done anything unethical. And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat in this chair.
You're gonna do great things.
No, and I plan to.
I don't think your livelihood's being tossed out. I think you're very successful.
Well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
I understand. But at this time, it's time for you to go.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this is the treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time to go.
Frank, this is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think you do. This feels very heartless. This feels without emotion.
I do understand where you're coming from.
This feels completely without emotion.
Meanwhile, older parts of Erika's story that had been pushed aside started resurfacing, adding uncomfortable color to the picture. Long before Charlie, Erika had auditioned for reality television. A casting tape that recently made the rounds showed a far more outgoing, spotlight-seeking version of her, playful and energetic, alongside then-boyfriend JT Massey.
Really handsome.
You look gorgeous. Are you fixing my... I got a little bacon. Babe, that's deep in there. Give them a cleavage? People want cleavage. Showcase it.
Sells, babe.
Sells. That's me.
That's against religion.
It's not within the confines of marriage.
That version clashed sharply with the disciplined, faith-centered image she later presented. She had described her pre-Charlie years as quiet and focused, avoiding distractions. Yet, footage and photos from her time in New York and the Miss USA circuit told a story of someone comfortable navigating high-visibility environments.
I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So it goes twofold here. So if you're expecting to marry someone that I was blessed with, like a Charlie, you have to be the type of woman that will attract a Charlie. Are you going to church? Are you going to Bible study?
I think I always had that girly girl hidden within me. After being such a tomboy and experiencing that my whole life, it was like, oh, I can curl my hair, I can put on the mascara. I come from a great family that has very amazing genetics, so thanks, Mom and Dad.
She auditioned for fashion opportunities, including one tied to Diane von Furstenberg, where she emphasized how adaptable she was, ready to pack a bag and fly out on short notice. That same drive appeared in the Romania project she worked on with her mother.
The timing in my life is perfect for this opportunity. I'm at a great point, just career-wise, to be able to take on this type of endeavor. And I feel like I have something very unique to offer this whole experience in general. Like I said, I'm very coachable, I'm very trainable. And I'm the type of person that I don't need all the time in the world to get ready. If you say you got to be on a plane in a half hour and you have to pack your stuff and go, I'm on it. I'm kind of like a gypsy. I don't mind living out of a suitcase. I'm used to it, and that's something that I'm okay with. So traveling, I love it. I'm all for it. I'm up for anything. I want to learn. I want to be able to use this opportunity and harness all the things that I can learn from it and be able to just inspire people. Like, how cool of a chance it is to be able to work with Diane and her brand.
Publicly framed as humanitarian outreach for children, closer examination revealed gaps in documentation and partnerships that raise questions about the full scope of the operation. None of these details stand alone as proof of anything sinister. Lined up together, however, they paint someone skilled at presenting different faces depending on the audience.
Romanian Angels Project in late 2012, early 2013, through to 2015. And obviously you have seen all the TikToks describing the scandal. And to explain that to you, just to kind of separate the myth from the facts of this, I'll tell you what the facts are. The facts are that Lori Francevy established the Everyday Heroes Foundation, which was supposed to help children in need. That was established in Arizona under Erika's mother's name, Lori Francevy. What they decided to do, as charities do, is that they develop certain projects and certain missions, and what spun out from Lori's charity was the Romanian Angels Project. And they got this deal with the military. They worked with the military in Romania to help orphans, okay? Now, it is a fact that they worked with, at that time,
the contrast became impossible to ignore once the fundraising and trial urgency entered the frame. While Charlie's parents grieved quietly and his sister grew more vocal in her frustration, Erika kept the machine moving. Merchandise, events, public appearances, each one tied back to keeping Charlie's name and the associated support alive. Candace Owens has repeatedly asked the same uncomfortable question. If the focus was truly on honoring his legacy and seeking justice, why did the money trail and narrative control seem to take priority so quickly? One detail changes everything. In the days right after the loss, when most families would still be shattered, Erika was already fielding interviews, hosting gatherings with donation expectations, celebrating financial wins from memorial events, and even recreated the exact tent where Charlie was a replica. We're talking ring lights, selfie angles.
And you can see from behind me, this is a recreation of the tent where Charlie Kirk lost his life at Utah University in September, and people are taking selfies with it.
I cannot. I am not capable of whatever that. When I saw this, I realized I do not know enough words. I had to consult a thesaurus, and I still could not land upon the correct adjective to describe how I felt when I saw that tent. People taking selfies under a recreation. I don't know if it's actually the tent. It looks like it's pretty old, or a tent that Charlie died under. That's what was happening at AmFest. Horrified. I was aghast. I don't think I ever described myself as aghast. I was aghast. It was ghastly to look at that and to realize that they made a conscious decision to allow that to happen. To what end?
The story Charlie supposedly told about preferring the condo for safety now carries extra weight. It suggested he sensed danger. Yet, the speed with which his widow moved into power, fundraising, and image management has left many wondering what exactly was being protected. The internet has fractured along predictable lines. Some see a grieving woman doing what she must to survive and carry forward a mission. Others see a calculated shift that prioritizes empire over truth. The deleted casting tape, the Romania questions, the courtroom push for speed despite missing evidence, the massive sums raised with limited transparency, they all feed the same growing suspicion. Now the online community has been really loud. One blunt user commented on the leaked video, "The parents know she's full of shit. That's why the dad pulled his wife closest to him, and there's such a gap between them and the wife. They don't like her, and I'm sure they know she's fraud just like the rest of the world does." Another user said, "His parents are suffering and Erika Kirk is pretending." Then this one goes, "That medal should have gone to his parents." Yet another spotted Charlie's furious sister. "Anyone catch the lady in red at the far end looking at Erika's acting? It's almost like she knows Erika is acting." Then another replies, "You mean his sister, Amy? Charlie built Turning Point on authenticity and clear principles. If the money raised in his name is being directed properly, full openness should be easy." The resistance to that openness, paired with the family tension and Erika's past reinventions, makes the entire post-death chapter feel heavier than it should. Now the big questions are, how does a movement rooted in transparency end up with so many unanswered questions around its finances and leadership transition? Why does the rush to monetize and control the narrative seem stronger than the push for full accountability in court? And if Charlie's own sister is furious while his parents remain quietly mourning, what does that say about the version of the story being presented to the public? The truth about where the money went, what really happened in those first days, and who is truly shaping Charlie Kirk's legacy keeps surfacing in fragments. Drop what you think in the comments, and if you're all in for raw truths and bold takes, hit that like, subscribe, and click on that next video popping on your screen now.